Okay, continue. So let's get to the juice. But before we get into like the big fight, cause you know this is major. This is a big deal. Canelo Alvarez versus Crawford. I gotta ask you a question. You know, your title is like Cotillion the Boxing Truth. You know, why do they call you the Boxing Truth?
Well, I call myself the boxing truth because I am the truth. I've been in this sport since I was a little girl. I've been officiating for this year 20 years. Uh, Pro judge, amateur judge, referee, you name it, around the ring, putting shows on, matchmaking, I've done it. So I am the boxing truth. Yeah, I do a lot in the sport, so I consider myself the truth, and I am the truth. But yeah.
Okay, so see, Sleds, you heard it here first. Cotillion said she is the boxing truth. So you know what time it is. She gonna give us that truth. We about to really get into it and see. So you know, I gotta test her knowledge. I gotta see what she's talking about. We really about to, you know, see what Cotillion really about right now, Sleds and Sleds. Since once again she said she's the truth. So I gotta ask you, you know, this is a huge fight. Legacy's on the line, you know. These two fan bases, they go crazy. You know, it's like the Blood Buddies, they call them the Blood Buddies, and then they call it Canelo, you know. Canelo fans is crazy too. So I gotta ask you, how do you know, how you feeling about the fight? Who you think gonna win?
Well, I'm gonna just say off the rip who I know gonna win. Bud. Bud Crawford. I love Canelo. I love Bud. Boxing is boxing with me. But in this fight, in this one, I think Crawford had a lot to prove. He had a lot of advantages, I think, in this fight. And I get what people saying. Canelo, you know, the bigger guy. Bud went up 2 different weight classes. I went up 2 different weight classes. I mean, try me. So I mean, that don't mean nothing to me. But no, seriously, in boxing, Bud went up 2 different weight classes. Genetically, can he go up 2 different weight classes? Genetically, can he? Like, that's a question that people can ask themselves. Like, what weight do you really walk around at? Okay? Genetically, can he go up 2 different weight classes and be comfortable? Meaning, is it within his genes? Do he have the genetic makeup? Absolutely. He's going to be comfortable 2 different weight classes. You know, so I don't think it's going to slow him down like people think it will. Because Canelo, on the other hand, Canelo flat-footed. It's going to be easy to get him. So, it's not going to hurt him too much with the weight class thing that people's talking about. So.
See, okay, Sleds. So you heard it here first. Cotillion is saying, you know, listen, Bud Crawford got that work. Canelo is flat-footed. He's not going to be able to, you know, deal with Bud. So I basically agree with certain things you said too. I also feel like with Bud, you know, this is what I've been saying on my social media, on my Twitter. Well, it's not Twitter no more, known as X. So at MK Sports Slay, that's where I do all my tweets. I'm always on Twitter. So if you don't see me on nothing else, I'm always on X. I'm always tweeting about sports every day. But getting back to the point, I was saying like with Terrence Crawford, I keep saying it's 3 weight classes because I feel like all Terrence Crawford did was, you know, dip his big toe in the ring at 154 when he fought Madrimov. So I definitely think this is a big leap. I do feel like there is weight classes for a reason. So once again, you made a great point. I feel like, you know, Bud is going to be comfortable, but I also feel like we have to see with Bud too. Will he be able to handle Canelo's pressure and power? My biggest thing, you know, when I don't always like to compare, but I still like to look at other fights. When I seen Mel and Canelo, Jermell Charlo, that's what I'm talking about, fight Canelo. I felt like Mel was very timid in the ring with Canelo. And I felt like at times maybe Mel might have felt Canelo's power a little bit, and that kind of gave him a cause for pause. So I want to see with Bud, not saying that they the same, because I feel like Bud is a true killer, but I want to see how Bud reacts once, you know, Canelo, you know, tap him a little bit, tap, see how that power hit him. How you feel about that?
No, we definitely gonna see action. I mean, Canelo is not no just anybody. Now, don't get it twisted. I like Canelo. I like both of them. But at the beginning of the day, it's all boxing. Now, with boxing, we know anything can happen. I mean, I'm saying this, you know, no, he's gonna win. That's the truth. But anything can happen in the boxing ring. But I just think Crawford just, it's about legacy. He sat on ice for a minute. So I think his body he can endure that. Not only he can endure all that, he's been in. Look at his track record. I mean, he been hit hard. I mean, so I just don't think the power will be a factor. You know, they're gonna test each other. Definitely, both of them gonna test each other. The advantage Bud gonna have is that footwork. You know, Canelo is not. I mean, just style make fights. So it's all mental first. They both there mentally. I just think Crawford, his mental is he. I just think he come up with W. That's yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you too because Bud is definitely a killer in the ring. I feel like IQ. I feel like Canelo and Crawford both have a high IQ. You know, with Bud, I can definitely say when you talk about advantages, I feel like Bud counter punching ability is excellent. So we're gonna see who is going to out counter. You know, I think counter punching ability is gonna be very key. You touched on another great point. You talked about Bud's foot movement. You know, people talk about Canelo because he is flat-footed. You know, Canelo just fought his last previous fight that I watched the whole. Listen, Slayers and Sleds, the Queen beat. You know, look, I got the notes right now. I be tapped in. I watched the whole fight. It was painful to watch that fight. Like, it was some of the most low activity rate as far as fighting ever. And what I noticed about Canelo is, you know, Canelo has never been the biggest high volume puncher anyway, but it was really like low activity with this fight with him and Skull. And I just noticed, you know, as far as his foot movement and his ability to not properly cut off the ring. So I think that's going to be key in this fight. We're going to see, you know, will Canelo be able to cut off the ring at times with Terrence Crawford? Will he be able to counter the elite counter puncher like Bud? You know, Canelo has excellent counter punching ability too, but he going up against somebody with, I would say this, Bud and Canelo both have high IQs and they both are set trappers. They both are, you know, strategists in the ring. So I think who's going to be able to outsmart and outthink their opponent?
Well, I watched the Netflix series last night just to see if I was going to change my mind. No. When you're dealing with Bud and he can fight both ways, orthodox and southpaw, game over. The game, I mean, right there with the footwork, he could switch up very well. And he's comfortable both ways. Many fighters can't do that. So with that extra added piece and him coming up that way, power in both hands, and his footwork, and he can off the ring, and do I need to go on? I mean, it's going to be action because, again, Canelo is not just anybody. Canelo been in there with some of the greatest of the great of the great. And this is going to be a good fight, but however, the truth is, Bud coming with the W, it's going to be good, though. It's going to be a good fight. I mean, I'm sticking with Bud.
Okay, so listen, until you're sticking with Bud, you know, I will be honest, I've never rooted against Canelo or Bud. The only time I really even rooted slightly against Bud, even though that's my boy, was with Spence. I'm not gonna lie, we was hurt when Spence lost. Like, we love Spence, like we was shook when Spence lost. But with this fight, I can honestly say, you know, I'm rooting for Bud for sure. I feel like Bud can definitely get the victory. But it's just still certain things that I see. It's hard for me to really go against Canelo. I feel like, I can't say this. I feel like Canelo is supposed to win this fight because this is his weight class. So I feel like Canelo to me is more in a lose-lose situation because it's like, say if Bud was to lose, Bud super fans can be like, listen, you know what, Bud dared to be great. He went up to 2, really to me 3 weight classes and tried to beat the 168-pounder. So that's how.
Well, to me, it's mentality. Bud mentality is not a try, it's a do. So Legacy is not going to try. He's going to do. So his mentality going in, I'm not losing. You know, Canelo mentality going in, I'm not losing. That's why it's going to be a great fight this coming weekend. Like, that's next weekend. It's going to be a great fight. But the mentality is there. Like I said, both of the mentalities are there. I just think, after watching the Netflix, Bud is hungry. Like, he has a different hunger than Canelo. You know, it's a different type of hunger to me I see in his eyes. So, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to see. Now, that's one thing. Listen, I got to still watch the Netflix special. I meant to watch that last night as well. But I think Dimitri Bivol, who beat Canelo, made a very great point, too. And I also tweeted this on X, I said you can't be starry-eyed when you're going up against Canelo. And Bill said something very key too. He said you cannot fear Canelo. When you go in the ring with Canelo, you cannot fear him. And you got to make sure to have a high activity rate. You know, you got to throw punches and bunches, let your hands go, and you know, really unload and unleash. And you are correct. You know, Bud is a killer. So he come to destroy you. He come to annihilate his prey at all times. And that's one thing I definitely can say for Bud. And that's why I do feel like Bud can definitely get the job done in this fight. So, you know, you got any other thoughts about the fight?
I mean, just we talk about trauma. So I'm not saying that this mentality. I think a lot of people who box Canelo, they go in saying, oh, he's a knockout artist. You know, they go in with the whole thing in their head like, oh, he knocks people out. So it's momentum. But again, with Bud, that's not moving him no kind of way. Okay? Bud is built for this. Really, he is. He's built for this. He's just telling that man eyes. I mean, Canelo is too. However, it's gonna be an upset. It's gonna be an upset. It's gonna be classy. Bud coming up 2 different weight classes, but he look good. How he walking around now? He don't look fat. He don't look. He's doing well with it. He's doing well. He don't look slow.
Yeah,
you know.
That's true. Some people saying, you know, Bud is looking a little slow. You know, it's so certain people on social media. Of course, I don't go by other people anyway. I'm just looking to see what the fans. You know, I assess things differently than how other people assess it. But I want to give a shout out. What up though to the girl, because she just did an interview with the Ring magazine and she talked about Bud's ability to adapt. And I think that's very key too. You know, Terrence Crawford has great adaptability and adjustment making skills. You know, so we want to see in that ring. I always say that's how I was able to. Everybody that know that's like really tapped in with me when I do my prediction videos, like, yeah, the queen, yeah, she will be on point with predictions when I was doing it. Timing to me is, timing is going to be really key. You know, who's going to have that key timing? Like I said, especially with the counter punching, I want to see how things is going to go too. You know, as far as with Bud, with his jab, I feel like the jab will be key to throw off Canelo's rhythm and momentum. But once again, like I said, that ability to adjust and adapt, I think Bud has that too. Even though Canelo has the experience because he was in the ring with, you know, the legendary Floyd Mayweather. So it's really gonna be a chess match.
I was just about to speak on that when he fought Floyd. He was young too though. Canelo's like, I think 23, so he was a young cat. I mean, and he had that fire. I mean, he still had the fire, but he stepped in the ring with Floyd like he should, as he should, thinking he could win, as he should. But that fight, if you know right there, like Floyd is Floyd. Footwork. That's one thing. Floyd gave people the blueprint to Canelo. Let me just say that. And Bud's about to use it. That's it. He's about to use that blueprint and add a little more onto it. So timing is everything. Canelo's a good timer too. Bud is a good timer, so that's perfect right there. That's great. But that footwork is going to be key, and him switching up is going to be key. So that's going to take the fight. Now I want to go further and say what round, because they're going to be banging. I don't know if it goes 12 rounds. That's
what you
I'm not a bet.
You want to give us the juice? You gonna let us know? Like, you know, let us know. Let the supporters know.
I ain't no betting person. But with 2 people like that, what round it's gonna be stopped in? Who going down? Who going down? That's what I want to see. Like, Bud, what round you put him down in? Bud, like me, what? 9, 10? I don't know me.
Listen, she's saying that somebody about to. She saying Bud gonna win. No, but what else you said? Hold on, continue saying that Bud might, you know, get him up out there. Might get Uncle Cinnamon up out. Listen, it might be a problem. You said he might be lights out. Nighttime? Slayers and Slayers. Listen, tell me. How do y'all feel? You think it's nighttime for Canelo? Or do you think it's nighttime for Bud?
Oh, that's not happening.
Is it? Listen, continue, but we gotta understand, it's Canelo fans too. Like, listen, no, I'm
not
gonna get the job done.
I like Canelo.
So-
Don't get. I like Canelo. I love boxing. But real talk, and the truth is, style makes fights. Now, the truth is also, Canelo is strong. The truth is, anything can happen in boxing. Nah, one wrong move, one wrong anything can happen. However, I just, Bud got it. Bud got this one. Bud got this one.
Okay, so-
I stand firm on that. 10 toes down. 10 toes.
Okay, so you heard it here first, Slayers and Slayers. You heard what Katulia said. You heard what the Queen said. You know, I gave you a little bit of both. I told you how I felt with Canelo. Told you how I felt about Bud. Katulia did as well. She is locked in, guaranteed. She's saying that Bud Crawford is definitely gonna get this W. I told you, you know, I'm leaning towards. I might give you a little bit more later because you know the Queen kind of be, you know. I have to think about things. I have to see, you know, the weigh-in to what my heart is truly telling me. Because both of these is both of my, you know, two of my fighters that I love to watch all the time. But Slayers and Slayettes, you know, you heard our thoughts. It's the Queen, it's Katulia, the boxing truth. You know what time it is. This is Afternoon Sports Select.